Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be giving you an in-depth routine on foundation, contour, highlight, bronzer, blush for beginners. So basically how to get a very sculpted face and get that perfect bronze highlight going. Like most of my tutorials for beginners, this one's gonna be mostly like going in depth on the face makeup. So get ready for that. And I have a bunch of new products to show you guys that I've been using, including these bad boys from Sigma Beauty, the Sculpt Highlight and Contour Palette, and then the Blush Cheek Palette. I've been using these for months now, but I wasn't able to talk about them until they launched, obviously. But they really have been like my go-tos, and I've been having to hold back on using them in tutorials and videos in general. I haven't been able to talk to you guys about it until now. So you're gonna see these bad boys in action. So thank you so much to Sigma for working with me on this video, letting me try these out, letting me give you guys the deets on them. And let's go ahead and get right into it. We're gonna start off with the Bare Minerals Complexion Rescue Defense. This is a good protection base because it actually protects against blue light and also UV rays. So indoor, outdoor, whatever you're doing, it will protect your skin. I also feel like this gives a filtered effect, like it almost makes your skin look smoother. Definitely need that right now. I'm also gonna go in really quickly with this little stick from Lancome. This is the Blur and Go stick, and it's exactly what it says. It's a little stick that can blur out your pores wherever you put it, and it also kind of mattifies the skin a little bit more. I like to just kind of swipe it on and then press it into my pores. It does a good job of blurring out those pores without making your skin feel dry, and every foundation that I put on top of it lays so nice on top of it. Oh, God. Speaking of foundation, we definitely need to get some full coverage going on in here. What is this? I've got the Big Dipper on my forehead currently. Orion's belt, Milky Way. Oh, confirmed, it's Orion's belt. So we're gonna go in with the Catrice HD Liquid Coverage Foundation. This is a nice matte foundation. I know I used it in a recent video, but I do like it for that full coverage, lightweight matte effect. And when you are having breakouts, take it from a sister, okay? You do not want glowy, radiant foundations on your skin because that is going to highlight those breakouts or the texture on your skin. So when you have Orion's belt on your face, then you want to go more towards matte skin. So that is what I'm going to be doing today. And you know how I like to apply this foundation on a brush. And I do think that when you're going for that flawless foundation, almost airbrushed effect, you want to use a brush that has a flat top on it that has like a medium density to it, because that's what's gonna really give you that full coverage that you're looking for and not whisk away the product. If you use something that is more of a diffusing brush or is less dense, it's actually just going to create a thin layer. So like I said, medium to full density and flat top. So we are just going to drop that baby on. I'll go in with a few drops, but that's good to start. We're coming back to life, honey. What a difference a little bit of foundation makes, am I right? I'm just gonna go ahead and apply that bad boy all over the face with that flat top brush, the Sigma Flat Kabuki F80. And one technique that I like to do when I am going for that very flawless airbrushed finish is to obviously create a thin layer, but then go in with almost patting motions to really press the product into the pores. And that's what's gonna give us that flattened look, or smoothed out look, I should say. Get down onto the neck. In between this eyebrow section, I do go in with a smaller brush usually just to press that product right in between and not wipe off the brows that we've already done. So this is the Sigma Concealer Blend Kabuki F79. And that, my friends, is the power of makeup. You can barely tell that I have a breakout now. Amazing. Then I'm gonna take a little bit of my Becca Cosmetics Under Eye Brightening Corrector and place that underneath the eyes and just cancel out that discoloration. Obviously in this video, I want to focus mainly, I would say, on the contour, blush, and highlight and how to sculpt the face. But I do think that just getting an overall flawless base look helps with that process. So we're gonna take you through all the tips and tricks, but first off is this this guy. And if you have been watching my videos for a while, you know I live, breathe, and die for this stuff. Like, I could eat it. I would eat it if I could. That's what I'm trying to say. But the bottom line is, it is a bomb under eye corrector because it brightens up the area as it color corrects. But not only that, it's a little bit of a thicker formula, so when you're pressing it into your under eye area, it almost fills in the little divots underneath and creates like a much more flawless base. Boom. We are bright. We are ready. Okay. Now I'm gonna go in with some concealer. Which one shall I use? Shape Tape or NARS Radiant Creamy? These two are both pretty bomb, honestly. I would definitely rate both of these in my holy grail concealers, so I can't choose. Tarte Shape Tape has a little bit more coverage, but I do feel like the radiance and the light reflection is better with the NARS concealer actually, and this one's a little bit more lightweight. So I think today I'm gonna go with this one, especially since we have that matte skin going on. I like to balance it out, or I'm going to balance it out, I should say, with a lighter weight concealer for today, but either one would work if you have one or the other on hand. So I'm just gonna apply that underneath the eyes to start out and go in with that same concealer brush from Sigma and press that underneath the eyes. Now, the reason that I'm using brushes in this video is overall when you are using brushes and when you're using this kind of pressing motion, you're gonna get the fullest coverage possible because you're pressing the product right into the pores versus a blender or any kind of sponge that is going to soak up some of the product and take off some of the coverage. So by doing this sort of technique where you're lightly pressing the product into the pores, and it does take a little bit longer, so just know that this is gonna be a little bit more of a process when you're doing this technique, but your makeup is going to be so flawless. You're gonna be able to see it from Orion's belt and be like, okay. Ooh. Yes, hunty. We are coming through with the concealer. That first layer I went in just underneath the eyes. Now I'm creating a little bit of a bigger layer. And this concealer is so lightweight that you can do this and it won't cake up on you or anything. I'm also gonna take this second layer up here on the forehead. I think I might also go in with the Shape Tape in the shade Medium Golden, so it's actually a slightly darker shade, and pop that on Orion's belt up here. Whenever you're covering dark spots or acne, you obviously do not want to highlight it at all. So you can see the difference in color. It's very slight, but it's gonna make a difference at the end of the day because this shade is going to blend in a little bit better with my foundation than the more like highlighted shade that we use underneath the eyes will. So that is why I'm taking that and placing it on any dark spots, but I'm using the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer on any spots that I want to bring attention to or bring light to. All right, and then once we are done with that, we're gonna go ahead and do a little shake and bake. I'm using the Too Faced Peach Perfect powder. I highly recommend this powder because it does have a peachy undertone, so it's again going to cancel out that discoloration underneath the eyes, and it is mattifying. So if you are having breakouts, it's great at covering those breakouts, smoothing out the skin, and it just leaves your face looking so flawless, so airbrushed, so Vogue. Oh, I miss my brother. He's actually in LA right now. He has an injury, so he's here going to doctor's appointments. Okay, what was I doing? So I'm just going to take that and press that underneath the eyes. You want to tell what a difference that makes? Do you see how like flawless that looks? And then here we have a little craziness going on. Oh, I wanted to show you guys this tool too. Let me dig into my handy dandy tool set over here. This, my friends, is the Edge Kabuki, and I've talked about it before, but if you are wanting to really go the extra mile with your baking and potentially even carve out your nose, or if you just want to make sure to get the most mattified effect possible, this is what I would recommend because it has a flat top on it, again, like I said, but it has these edges on it so you can work the baking powder up onto the nose and kind of slim it out like that. You wanna bake anywhere that you crease or that you want to hold all day. So on top of where my breakouts are, I'm definitely gonna bake because I want that makeup to hold all day long. And if I don't bake, it can start to wear off And you won't need binoculars to see Orion's belt. Let's just put it that way. Oh, that just makes such a difference. Holy crapola. So you can use a brush or a blender for this step. It just really up to you, but kind of wanted to give you the pros and cons of different tools and different techniques that I like, because you guys know I like to go very in depth in my tutorials, especially the ones that are based or geared towards beginners. So this one, I really am trying to go in depth on how I get a flawless face, and we're gonna move into flawless contour, blush, bronzer, highlight, all that good stuff, so that you guys can hopefully learn something from this video, take something away. So let me know if you guys want to see any other really in-depth videos like this one, just to help you guys out. Anything you guys need help with, I'm here to help. The baking powder is still on, don't worry. I haven't forgotten about it, but look. Depending on your skin type, if you have dry skin, you may want to let your baking powder sit for less time. If you have normal to oily skin, I leave it on for about 5 to 10 minutes, and I have normal to oily skin. So that is a good indicator for you guys. So I'm wiping away the powder really gently, using a very light hand here so that we don't wipe away the foundation we have down. And if you're going over any parts that you had breakouts in, you actually don't want to wipe at all, because we definitely do not want to remove any of the areas where we put a lot of concealer. So for that, I actually take a little bit more face powder and use it on the brush to press in the excess. And that's what gives you the most flawless look possible. I mean, magic or makeup. Honestly, it worked pretty well. You have to admit, right? I'm ready to catfish. Moving on to contouring. This is the moment I've been waiting for. I've honestly been wanting to show you guys this palette for so long, because I have been obsessed with this. So this is the Sigma Beauty Sculpt Highlight and Contour Palette. It does come with 6 different shades, so you get 3 different matte contour shades, and it goes from light to dark, obviously, and then 3 different highlighting shades that are beautiful and very universally flattering. This is how they swatch up. They're so pretty, you guys. Oh, that didn't have anything on it. They're such pretty highlighting shades because they blend out really nice and easily, but when it hits the light, I'm telling you, your cheekbones, your highlights of the face are going to look poppin'. So starting off with a contour, I usually mix faking it and throw shade, and I like to do this because it kind of creates like my own custom color, and that's one thing that I like about this contouring palette is you do get a mixture of warms and cool tones, so that you can do that, so that you can really create the best contouring powder shade for your skin tone. So like I said, I like to mix together these 2 right here, and I take the brush. I'm using a F40 angled contour, and I use pressing motions into the cheekbone. This is the best way to get a natural contour because you are not wiping away any product that's underneath. And I always find it's way easier to use powder contours than cream contours. So for beginners, I definitely recommend a powder contour kit. You just want to take that product and gently press it into that cheekbone area. When you blend it out, you want to blend it upward so that you get that nice uplifted look. And see how nicely this powder blends out? It's very, very pigmented, so you don't need much and it goes a long way, but you just want to really work it into the skin and it will stay all day long and give you that nice blended in contour. And depending on your face shape, you want to place your contouring powder in slightly different positions. For me, since I have a round face, I like to slim it down. So I do actually take the contour and press it into like the sides of the cheekbones, moving up into the hairline, because obviously that's going to bring your face in a little bit more and, like I said, slim it down. If you have a more elongated face and you want to actually make it look a little bit more round, you only want to place the contour right here in the hollows of the cheekbones and not bring it onto the sides here, because like I said, the sides is gonna slim your face out. Now I bring the contour up onto the forehead as well. And again, I'm mostly focusing this on the sides. If you do have that longer face shape, then you want to focus it more on this area right here, but for me, I do it more on the sides. And like I said, but I love mixing these two shades. Faking It is a really nice neutral contour, and then Throw Shade has a little bit more warmth to it, but honestly, it creates the most beautiful natural looking contour and shadow on the face. Just looks like I have cheekbones for days. I have been waiting for ever to tell you guys about these palettes. Like I'm telling you, I've been using them, and it's been so hard for me to not use them in my other tutorials, like on camera and stuff, because obviously I wasn't allowed to show them like before they launched. But it was so hard because they're so good. Like these two palettes are all I've been using for blush and contour ever since I tried them out. I'm gonna take that same little combo of shades to contour the nose out a little bit. I'm doing this on an eyeshadow brush so I can have a little bit more precision. Okay, E70, wow, that made a very defined contour. That was actually the first time that I had tried using that brush. I always use eyeshadow brushes for my nose contour because, like I said, I like to get that precision, but that was the first time that I used that particular brush, but I really, really like how it laid down the product. And then I'm just gonna take a clean brush and kind of diffuse the line a little bit. Here's one of my key tips for you guys. If you really want a natural looking contour, take your bronzer right over where you put down that contour and start to blend this product up. So now we're gonna start to create a natural gradient from that shadow to the contoured, bronzed, highlighted effect, the gradient as we call it. See how when you start to press that up into the skin, it blends out the contour so seamlessly and just leaves you with such a natural looking contour. That is what we want, ladies and gentlemen. That is exactly what we want. Once you have the base down, you can go in and use more blending motions if you really want to disperse the color, but I recommend patting motions at first to get the color deposited and then go in and blend it out. Moving on, it's time for blush, and where you apply your blush can differ again with your face shape, but that's why I'm here. That's why I wanted to do this video. If I've ever said you need something in your life, this is what you need. I'm such a blush person, so when they showed me kind of like a preview of what they were launching this year, and I saw this, I just about died because I just love the tones in here. The quality is definitely there. It's very blendable. It has the right amount of pigmentation for me. And I just feel like the shades themselves are so universally flattering. Like whatever you're looking for, you'll have it. You know what I mean? You'll have a peachy shade, you'll have a shimmery bronze, you'll have a peachy pink, you'll have a muted rose. So like you get so many beautiful shades, and I feel like this palette could work for so many skin tones. So I'm just saying. We're gonna take that on the Spotlight Duster F37, and I like to mix together, like kind of like my everyday blush combo is to mix together Pinkin and Cor de Rosa. This is actually an existing shade that I've been using for years, like one of the first products from Sigma that I ever tried out, so I was really excited to see it inside the palette. But I do like to mix these two shades to get like a custom color. Pinkin is a kind of peachy pink, and you guys know I love my peaches, but this shade right here, Cor de Rosa, is the most beautiful muted rose. This is such an amazing fall blush color, but like I said, I do mix the two together to get kind of like an everyday blush. And when you're applying your blush, if you have more of that elongated face shape, you want to apply it onto the apples of the cheek and then blend backwards. For me, since I have more of a rounded face shape, I actually start the blush more towards the middle of the cheekbone and then bring it onto the apples once I have less product on the brush. So when you have that product already dispersed onto the high points of the cheekbones, then you can bring it down and swirl it onto the apples. As the kind of finishing touch to the cheekbones, you do want to add on highlight. And highlight, what that's gonna do is balance everything out, obviously, and bring forward the high points of the face where the sun or light in general would naturally hit you. And then because we've already added on that shadow or contour and also the blush, then it's gonna look very sculpted because you're bringing back the shadows of the face, the contours of the face, and you're bringing forward the highlights. So I'm gonna go back into the Sculpt palette, and I like to mix together 24K and Shine On. Shine On is a really pretty champagne shade, and then 24K is like a warm gold, but I mix the two together right now for my skin tone. If I'm a little bit more tan, then I'll just go in with 24K, and it is beautiful. Like, absolutely stunning, okay? No, it really is though, honestly. It has such a pretty gold because it's not too bronze on the skin. When you blend it out, it's beautiful. It's one of the best like bronzy, warm golden highlights I've seen actually. So I really like this one, but today I'm going to mix the two together. And how you apply your highlight makes a big difference as well. So obviously with different face shapes, again, you want to apply these powders in different areas. I hope that I'm making that as clear as possible for you guys, just because it really does make a difference when you're working with the products that are going to, or in ways that are going to complement your features. So for me, for a rounder face shape, you obviously want to start the contour right here, or the highlight, I'm sorry. You want to start the highlight right here on the top of the cheekbone, and you always want to use a really, really precise brush for this. This is actually my favorite brush to use for highlighters, and if you're an OG rock star, you know that because I've been using this again for quite some time now, but I take it right on the high points right here, and then I blend it back in the same direction as we've placed the bronzer and the cheek product. So what this is gonna do is just give us that like very uplifted look and sculpt the face in the best way possible, basically. And I also add some highlight up here at the top of the forehead to balance everything out. These highlighters, I'm telling you, blend out so easily, and they're not glittery or sticky at all. They don't grit onto the skin too much, so they just add a really nice sheen to the face, especially up here on the forehead. You definitely don't want to use anything too glittery because it's just gonna look so unnatural. See how it blends out so nicely, but you're still getting that super blinding highlight. It just looks like a swish of shine. Take a little bit of that on the very top of the of the brush and whisk it down the center of the nose to add a little bit of highlight. I actually don't like to add too much highlight there because I feel like it sticks out like a sore thumb on the face, but a little bit is really nice, especially with powders like this that blend in easily and they don't leave that kind of glittery residue everywhere. You definitely do not want that. I'm just gonna quickly finish off the eyes, and I do want this tutorial to be obviously more focused on the face just because that was the whole point of it, but we're gonna finish off the look because I got places to go, people to see after this, you know what I'm trying to say? I'm just priming my eyes with the Persuade eyeshadow base from Sigma. It's honestly bomb, especially for this look that I'm about to do for the eye makeup. The eye makeup's gonna be super simple actually, but it has a pinky, like almost fun rose gold holographic kind of feel to it. And then I'm gonna try out this product right here from J-Cat Beauty. It's the Prismetal Chrome Eye Mousse in the shade Sorbet Snow. I swatched these on my IG story a couple days ago and they were so pretty. Like, look how holographic and beautiful that is. So I thought I would try it out on the eyes today. I'm gonna take that on my finger. After I have it on the lid, I'm gonna take a blending brush. This is the Buff and Blend E39 and kind of press the product into the crease up here to give a nice wash of color. It has such a unique texture. I don't know if you can see it, but it's literally like a little mousse in there. For lashes, I'm gonna go in with Lily Lashes Lila, a nice wispy style to still be able to show through that pretty shade that we have on the lid. And then I'm gonna add on some of the NARS Climax Mascara. I just got an email. Keeping the bottom lash line pretty blank today. I honestly really like this style when it's top heavy. You can really see what's going on the top lashes, and that's kind of like the focus of it. Last thing to do is lips. So I'm gonna start off by lining the lips with my Charlotte Tilbury Iconic London Lip Cheat. Then I'm gonna go over that with the OFRA Cosmetics Long Lasting Liquid Lipstick in Sao Paulo. And I'm just gonna go over that with a gloss, and this one is from Buxom Cosmetics. Ooh. This really turned out a lot more ethereal than I expected. Oh my god, wait! I forgot to add on inner corner highlight. That is the last step, my friend. So I'm gonna add on, I don't know which one I should use, this more white glitter or Felicity Loose Shimmer. We'll try Felicity. real quick. Just pop that in the inner corner. I have been loving, like literally loving with all of my heart, colored inner corner highlights. Like not just a plain highlight. Living, breathing, dying for it right now. Ooh. Truly much more ethereal than I expected this look to be, but we're gonna set it down so it lasts all day with by Urban Decay all-nighter. I hope this helps you guys out, especially those of you who really wanted an in-depth tutorial on flawless foundation, contour, bronzer, highlighter, blush for your face shape. I hope that you got something out of it. I will list all the products that I used down below in the description box, including the 2 palettes that you need in your life, the Sculpt and Blush palettes from Sigma. Honestly, they really are bomb. Like, I'm not even just saying that because I am working with them on this video. I have been using these for months now, hiding them from you guys because I wasn't able to talk about them, but I'm just gonna put it out there right now. You pretty much need these in your life because I use them every single day and I really, really do like them. They're just very solid products. So thank you so much again to Sigma for working with me on this video. I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye. I forgot the word, but protect. Okie dokie. Okie dokie artichoke. Yeah.